Welcome to Northwest Arkansas Investing Podcast. Today we have Josh Saffran with us, entrepreneur, investor, co-owner, operator of the Gents Place in Bentonville, and director of Plug and Play of Northwest Arkansas.
We're going to dive into scaling labor-intensive businesses like here at the Gents Place, the future of NWA, Walmart home office campus, and how Josh thinks about investing and entrepreneurship today.
When you zoom out across business, investing, startups, and real estate, what do you think actually creates long-term success today?
First of all, thank you for having me, guys. You guys have a fantastic podcast, and I'm honored and thrilled to be a part of it. So thank you for including me.
Of course.
I think the key word in there is long-term. I guess that's two words, but I think making money and making money fast is what everybody wants to do, right? I have $1 and I turn it into $2 tomorrow.
Yep.
Being patient, being mindful, long-term. I mean, you're talking about long-term wealth. The stock market goes up and down, right? You buy a house and you flip it, and then turn around 2 years later and you buy another house and you lose 200 grand on the house. So I think, again, staying diversified, but really being focused on being patient and understanding what's happening in the marketplace long term. There's so many different areas to invest your money, and I'm a big believer in really trying to spread it across as many different areas as possible.
Yeah,
and not checking your portfolio every day. I mean, it gets uber frustrating. And again, you're in this for the long haul. And that's the key phrase that you guys had in there, is long-term, being very patient and being very diversified.
This episode is sponsored by TCS Management. Landlords, are you tired of late rent, surprise repair bills, and wasting hours on tenant calls? TCS Management is your full-service property management company here in Northwest Arkansas. They solve the headaches. Professional leasing and tenant screening to reduce vacancy and risk. Target marketing to fill units fast. 24/7, 365 maintenance to stop small issues from becoming big bills. Reliable rent collection and eviction coordination when needed. Plus transparent financial reporting, vendor management, and capital projection oversight. Protect your investment and reclaim your time. Visit tcsmgtar.com. That's tcsmgtar.com. Or call 888-TCS-MGT-5. We interview a lot of people on here, real people that have 150 units, people that are solely commercial, some business owners, I'm really looking forward to your perspective, because you're a bit local business owner here and you're diversified in investing in that capacity and probably different other capacities as well across. So you are pretty diversified in your investments, you would say, and that's probably a key to success.
Yeah, I've had a long-term financial advisor. Shout out to Joe Tomorrow in New York for 25 years, and so he's kind of managing a lot of the money. He's always talked to me about having 3 different buckets of money: your today money that you need to live and pay bills, your next 5 to 10 year, whether that's college or weddings or things along those lines, and then your retirement. You need to be contributing money to each of those different areas. And so I've been very focused on that for a long period of time. When you own a home, obviously there's value there. When you're opening and owning a business, which is what we've chosen to do here, and put money there, I think that's important. But putting money and saving for retirement. I mean, I'm telling my 20-year-old, like, start thinking about those things now. He's like, Dad, I'm 20. I'm like, I hear you.
Yeah.
But the more you can do that now, the more it will scale and grow over a period of time. And I just think that's super, super important.
Yeah.
You said you've been connected with your financial advisor for 24 years now. Give us a quick version of your entrepreneurial journey and how you got to where you are today.
Yeah, I moved down here 15 years ago. Wow, it's 15 years. With one of the CPGs, 15 years ago when somebody moved here, you either worked for Walmart, most likely, or you worked for a supplier. And so that was always the ongoing joke. Yep. And so I continued that path for a few years. And then I got terminated from a role here with one of the big CPGs, and I really didn't know what to do. I'd always been a high performer, and I'd always done well, and we just didn't see things the same way. And I said, I'm never going to be in that boat again. And I wanted to own my own business, and I wanted to be able to diversify and also stay in the CPG space. And so that's really the impetus where the Gents Place came from. I really wanted to be responsible for my own success and not only reporting up to somebody else who was making the decisions. And that's really where the entrepreneur journey started.
So let's dive a little bit into that pivotal turn point where you said you were terminated from. Would you say that was what spurred you on towards your entrepreneurship?
1,000%.
Yeah.
Terminate is a strong word. We mutually agreed that we were. It was my word. We mutually agreed to part ways. It wasn't working, and so I didn't have a job. And I was like, yeah, I just have always wanted to own my own business. My dad owned his own business when we were growing up, and the mistake he made, it failed, but he left his career to open this business and poured everything into it. And when the business failed and went bankrupt, he didn't really know what to do. So I said, I got to keep and have a day job. And then I got to be able to open something and have my wife step in and run it. And that would give me something to have passive income at some point when I was thinking about retiring and moving away from it. But it's, entrepreneurship is not for everybody.
No.
It's I think everybody thinks it's glamorous because they walk into a place like this and think it's beautiful, and it is, but it's really hard. It's 24/7.
A lot of background stuff.
There's just, you know, the dishwasher or the washing machine's not working. You got to show up on a Friday. Somebody's not happy and you have to have a career discussion. It's always here. And I tell people that you need to be prepared if it's something you want to do, because it's not always glorious. It's very, very hard work.
Yeah. So you can in that moment when you mutually agreed to part ways, you might have been thinking like, oh crap, like we got to figure this out. Like when you decided to go, hey, full-time entrepreneurship, where you're like, this is plan A, we got to make plan A work. Is that the mindset you had into it, or walk me a little bit into that? I
just knew, knowing my personality, when you work for other people and you're part of a supplier that's got bosses and bosses and bosses and bosses, you're working really hard and you're getting a paycheck every 2 weeks and you get your benefits and your health care and all that other stuff. But whatever you're building does not go to your own personal satisfaction and growth and wealth. And I just thought there was always something inside of me that said, I want to explore that. And I also felt there was an opportunity to do more here in the community, which I'm sure we'll talk about in a little bit, about this community, how amazing it is, being able to give back and help others. And that really just clicked for me, that was something that was really important.
That's huge.
When you so 15 years ago, is that when Gents Place started, or what got you into?
So Gents Place has been open for 8 years. So 15 years been here. We worked with Colgate-Palmolive, fantastic company. Left there, got divorced, like a lot of stuff happening all at the same time. And again, when we parted ways with this job after Colgate, then I just decided I wanted to do something. And I didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted something Walmart.com/Amazon proof, you know, how they're taking over the world. The day that a barber pops out of your mailbox and starts cutting your hair, you know, that's some George Jetson stuff. I just don't see that ever happening. And so I really thought, okay, you know, you have to protect yourself from these big companies that are gobbling up everybody in the world. And I thought the barbershop was a good, safe place. And then we layered in networking and connectivity. So now it's called a business and barber lounge. And we've kind of really built on the networking piece, which, as you guys know, is super important in this town.
Very, very important. I mean, I think you even see, Brian, with contract closers and connectors, like how important that is. I mean, would you agree with that?
Yeah, 100%. This is still, like, as fast as we're growing, it still has a small town feel, and we talk about it all the time. Like, it's a lot different when you can shake someone's hand versus just an email from someone out of state. You know, there's a lot of moves that are happening, you know, from connecting and
there's people calling. I mean, I will share absolutely no names, but like the other day I got called and someone wanted an opinion on somebody, and an honest, open opinion of how I felt about somebody. And that's the kind of conversations that are having in the background with, like, you know, having a good reputation, like being here local, shaking hands, being in person, like those kind of conversations are happening. And that's kind of why I like this area. It's like, it's very, you know, we're growing really quick, but like people really want to know, like, what is this person actually like? Like, are they a good person? Like, do they rub you wrong? So that's really cool as well. Josh, looking back, what are some of the biggest lessons, like when you first got started? I'm sure you've probably learned a million lessons, and you could probably tell us about a million lessons, but if you could pinpoint a few when you first were getting started, what are a few of those lessons that you learned early on?
It's interesting when you're an entrepreneur and you own something, everybody looks to the owners, but there's 25 people that we employ here across both locations, and this is their job. And we're responsible to ensure that they get paid every 2 weeks, that they're continuing to grow personally and professionally. We have lots of good conversations with the team about growth. And so we're responsible for their well-being. We're responsible that they can buy a house and buy a car. And so I hadn't really thought through that as much. Like, you knew that you were going to have people on your team, but then they really become part of your family. And you really want to see them grow and ensure success. And so I hadn't really thought through that impact, but the amount of HR conversations that we're having, and not the stereotypical HR, like you're doing something bad, but the growth and the sitting with people. I mean, this is a barbershop that provides 401k
Mm-hmm.
for their employees, that there's a set schedule, that they get paid time off,
Mm-hmm.
that they can get a gym membership paid for them. Like, this is not standard in this industry.
Yeah.
And so we've really invested a lot of our time and equity into ensuring that these people are happy in their job, happy in their career, and can have growth. And I hadn't really thought through that impact. And after 8 years, it's really important to myself and my wife, Emily.
Do you see a lot higher retention with your barbers than other?
Yeah, I mean, this industry is typically the grass is greener down the block, and so I can go. I mean, there's tons of great places that cut hair in Northwest Arkansas, tons, and so I can go down the block and get $1 more an hour, or I can move from a paid job here. These people are W-2 employees to a commission or a booth rent or whatever else they want to do. And we do have turnover. I mean, it's just the nature of the world that we live in. But we have people here 6, 7, 8 years.
Wow.
When you're here 7 years with us, we pay 100% of your health care.
Wow.
I mean, like, it's a big deal. Again, it's unheard of. And so you want to retain and grow and develop people. And we do have a good track record of keeping most people here for a long period of time.
Yeah. Love that.
When you first got started, what made you choose to stay in NWA versus go back where you came from?
My journey, I'm a New Yorker, that's why I love the Yankee hat. So I've worked hard to remove the accent as much as possible, but grew up in New York, New Jersey area, moved to Minneapolis, big city, moved to Boston, big city, moved back to Hoboken, New Jersey, big city, moved to Chicago. And then I came here kicking and screaming, and I 18 months, get me out. Like, what am I going to do here? I don't have any family here. And I love it. I mean, this is where all my kids have all gone through high school. My son's at the University of Arkansas. My daughter's in Springfield at college. And this area has just grown on me, and it's become home. And I could see where I'm doing half a year in retirement somewhere else, but roots are here. And I really enjoy being a part of this community, and don't plan on leaving to anywhere else.
In New York and Chicago, what was your perception? Was it hillbillies and moonshine, or?
It's so funny. It's really, really, really so funny. Like, I talk to people here today that don't like New Yorkers and have this perception everybody's nasty and direct, and there's garbage piled up and everybody's rude. Not reality, right?
Yeah.
And then the perception from there to here is nobody has teeth, there's no running water, right? Like, all this stuff, and none of that's true either. And it's like, you got to come see both places and visit it. My buddies from college, I went to college up in the University of Delaware. They've never been to Arkansas. They're planning on coming for the first time, and they're giving me, Arkansas. Like, what am I going to do in Arkansas?
Yeah.
And they're going to come down here and be blown away by how amazing this place is. But you have to see it to believe it.
Yeah, the natural state. I represent a lot of out-of-state investors, and especially people coming from like the coast. They'll come here and they're like, "This is beautiful. You have streams." I'm like, "Yeah, it's a natural state. Like, we have mountains for here." And they're blown away by this area. I think it speaks volumes. Now, the Gents Place is incredible. When you've talked about customers remembering the experience about being more than just a haircut, can you explain, dive a little bit more into that?
Yeah, I mean, it's really, really. If you guys left today and you guys came in and got services this morning and said,
absolutely incredible, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Said, I got a really good haircut, or I got a really good shave, I would be disappointed. You're like, what do you mean you're disappointed? You can go, and again, there's dozens of places, whether it's Clip's Place or a barbershop in town, and you can get a great service, match the service that you got today. But how was the experience when you walked in? And there's interesting things here that you probably wouldn't have noticed. There's a concierge welcoming you at the front that she or he doesn't cut hair. They're pouring you a cup of coffee. They're making sure you get checked in. They're helping you with membership questions. The phone doesn't ring here. Nothing worse and more frustrating when you get your haircut and somebody goes, hold on, I got to go answer the phone. The phone doesn't ring here, but a third-party call service.
Wow.
Like, even the things with the music in the relaxation room. And so we really want you guys to come in who have high stressful jobs, like family things, problems, challenges, always moving, to be able to close your eyes and enjoy the experience of the 30 minutes to an hour and a half. You had an hour and a half worth of services this morning, right? And yesterday, you're like, that's a lot. Now I'm looking at you like you're like in the zone, which is like, that's but we want that from our guys.
I think I saw Brian asleep actually in the chair.
Yeah. It was nice to have that coffee right after. But yeah, it's like a spa, like almost, mixed with a haircut. And like you said, you can gather your thoughts and think about business and be peaceful. So I think, it was great. How is it like operating a business? Even even having a barbershop alone is pretty labor intensive, having all these different components of, almost hospitality, how is that for you operating the business?
I have to remind people, rent and people are expensive. And you guys know these types of things. And so people are like, oh, well, I go down the block and get my haircut for $30 or $40, but here I got to pay for a membership that's $500. I mean, you guys must be making a ton of money. And I kind of always laugh and chuckle. I'm like, I mean, you're sitting in a build out right now that is like nothing else that's in this area from the cost to build this and all the details. And so it's an expensive, high overhead, labor intensive business where we're investing so much in our people that it's rewarding. But again, it's a challenge. I mean, it's a hard business to run because of the overhead that comes along with it.
I would say, speaking from a firsthand experience, and I would say maybe a few years ago, I'd been at the Gents Place, and I remember at the time trying to convince my wife to let me get a membership. But now coming in here as well, you just feel special. Like I walk in, I'm like offered potentially like an Elijah Craig or something, and I'm like, that's nice. Now, not 9 a.m. in the morning, but like I could see myself coming in here later in the day on a Friday and having something like that and winding down. And this backroom experience is super special. The secret door, the lockers. I mean, that's something for me personally that would make me definitely choose this over like just a good cut. Because I feel special and I want to feel special. Like if someone doesn't want to feel special, they're lying. That's kind of what sells me on this.
Well, the business lounge. So we're sitting in a VIP business lounge that's one of one that we built here specifically for the Walmart campus, which I'm sure we'll talk Walmart campus soon. So like we're behind a speakeasy door, and we've created this business networking hub where we want guys to be able to come in and do business deals. Whether you're here for a real estate investment meeting or whether you're sitting here at the bar and you're exchanging a business card with somebody that then turns into a business deal, that happens here all the time. And people are coming here with their laptops and they're not even getting a haircut for the day or not getting a service. And they're walking out with 3 or 4 business connections that are going to help them grow. And you go, but I was just at my barbershop, right? And that's really special about this place.
100%. A quick question for you. So now you're from the public lens, and me being public, you're scaling now. How do you maintain like consistency while scaling? How do you balance that?
That's been really, really challenging. I mean, we had the other location that's been open for 8 years, and then Walmart approached us and asked us to be here, and we've been open for about 8 months. And so we were going to start with a whole new team here, but then we figured out because they're 5 miles apart, people would want to see consistency between both locations. So we split and we pulled about 30% of our team over from there to here, which then causes a little bit of disruption around, I used to do this and now I'm over here and now I have a new team. So we really had to spend a lot of time thinking about the way to scale. Emily and I are only 2 people. And so we try to pour into the business as much as possible, but we've now gotten to a point where we have a great manager here and a great manager at a location. And I am sort of overhead and seeing this place through. I work out of here on Fridays and my wife's sort of over there. That allows us to be paying attention to both, but also give the managers the freedom to run the business. But scaling is really hard. And we had somebody come up to us last week and go, hey, you ready to open a 3rd location? I got a property for you in such and such town. And I'm like, dude, we're not ready yet. Like, we're still like recovering from what this was to build this out.
So scaling now, have you had to take a deep breath and like let go of some things that previously you would have held tighter onto?
It's my wife and I talk about it. It's the hardest thing that we have to do. And we have to understand that if we're not as involved, maybe there may be a mistake or two that we are not catching, but that has to be okay. Otherwise, we're going to drive ourselves nuts. And so that's hard because this is our baby and this is our blood, sweat, and tears and money poured into this. But the reality is we have 2 great managers and we have to let go and let them fail fast and make a few mistakes and pull us in. But we also can't step too far away where all of a sudden that we're having significant issues. So it's a really tough balance to figure out.
For other business owners, what are you keep holding tight to, and what are you delegating? What are the first things that you're delegating, and what are the things that you still hold on to?
I mean, the culture is paramount. I mean, we are really focused on having the right people come in the door and ensuring that they have an outstanding experience. The running the day-to-day operations and, hey, we're out of soda, we're out of paraffin wax, or this person didn't have a great experience today. And normally I jump on a call and say, hey, what happened or how can we fix it for you? We have to give some of those things to the managers. I mean, they're highly capable to do those things. We really want to bring the right people through the front door. It's my job and my wife's job. It's like it's a three-headed monster. It's our job to market and bring the right people in. And that's from who she talks to on a regular basis and myself. And we're going to continue to be passionate about that, but maybe a little bit less when the people get checked in at the front and the back of the house. I have to trust that the processes are in place to have great experience, but we're not going to let go of marketing and trying to attract and bring the right people in the front door.
What kind of systems have you evolved? It sounds like the phone service, I feel like that's genius because that is a problem. And
if I'm getting my haircut, I don't want to hear.
Yeah, not only the sound, like you talk about the peace and the freedom here, but also just keeping the barbers in the seat. That I feel like that's a great play on systems. What else? What other systems have evolved since being in the business for so long?
Well, again, it's really important, as you mentioned. The concierge folks, the folks up front have to be focused up front. In addition to the phone not ringing, to your point, the barber leaving your side to go check somebody in or check somebody, like we just don't do that. Like we need them to be at your side and having good, empowering conversations when they're back behind the chair. I think we're dabbling a bit on the third-party concierge where we have real people now doing it as opposed to embedding some AI technology and starting to think down that route. AI is changing the world, as we all know, and so well, you're not going to have AI cut your hair, but maybe from a customer service standpoint, there's ways we need to be thinking about that. The CEO and founder of the company, based out of Frisco, he's really, really into what the next 2 to 3 years look like. And it's probably less about what services do we change, but more to how do we embed some AI into the thinking. Yeah. And that's probably going to be in the customer service and concierge way. The other piece that we're really targeting right now is when you guys are sitting at the barber chairs, maybe doing some marketing, creating an experience in the chair where businesses can market to, I have your undivided attention for 35 minutes sitting in that chair.
Yeah.
And so do we have an opportunity now to have clients sponsor Gents TV and run some advertising when people are in the chair? So we're toying with that a little bit as well now.
At Advantage Title and Escrow, we don't just close deals. We partner with realtors to protect their clients from contract to close. Because closing isn't just paperwork, it's people. We strive to educate, communicate, and safeguard every step of the process so your buyers and sellers feel confident, informed, and secure. Whether it's first home or forever one, we're with you every step of the way, doing our best to clear the path, catch the details, and keep the closing table as stress-free as possible. Advantage Title and Escrow, because your clients deserve more than just a closing. Since you are an operator, has that affected how you evaluate investments as a whole? Now, like you've seen your business through your lens, and now when you're approached with other investments, does that change how you evaluate those?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is being in this business. Again, when you're thinking about investments, the way I tend to think about it is I am writing a check for something that I hope that goes up and grows, right? I mean, that's the way it's doing it. But owning a business, I tell people I said, why do you want to own a small business? They said, I want to make money. I want to make money quick. You're in the wrong business.
Yeah.
This is not the way to do it. How do you make money quick? Well, I mean, go flip a house, which again, there's pros and there's hard to do. Go put it all on black at the casino, go put money in NVIDIA or go get on the SpaceX IPO. There's ways to make money quicker. But if you're open a business and you start a small business, I mean, it's a long term. The amount of capital that you're deploying up front versus how long it takes to make the money back. I love coming in here and the feeling of being a part of the business and the community. And I know that if we do this right, this can be here for many years and there's passive income. Yeah. But if you're looking to make money quick as an operator, I mean, this is just not the way to do it.
What I see is you're basically like, how can I best serve the people that are coming in the door, and then the money comes after that. That's kind of what I see.
The model, and as I explain it, I think it's really part of our secret sauce. So I'm sharing secrets with you guys here in front of all your listeners.
Thank you.
When we pour into the team, when the team loves coming to work, and think about your job. When you love going to work, you perform great. When you perform great, you sell something and then you make money. So when the team is doing a great job cutting your hair or doing a shave and they're happy and they're speaking highly of the business, you as the client have a great experience. You as the client having great experience then goes to the front and says, I'm going to spend money on cologne or buy a membership. And so we start there. And that's where we pour all our energy in. And that's really unique, I think, in this industry.
100%. Let's dive a little bit, take a little segue into plug and play. For people that are unfamiliar, can you give us a quick overview of what that is and how you're involved there?
Yeah, it's really, really, really interesting business. Again, I had to do a significant brain shift coming from selling a widget to Walmart or Target or wherever it was in my career. And I get a call from a recruiter about 4.5 years ago, and he says, "Don't hang up on me. I have an interesting job for you. Think about networking in this community and engaging in entrepreneurship." And I'm like all in my wheelhouse. So Plug and Play is a Silicon Valley-based venture capital company that has 60 offices around the world. And from an investment standpoint, this is a fun story. Our CEO, he bought a piece of property in Palo Alto, which we call the Lucky Building now. And he had tenants in his building, so talking about commercial real estate. And these tenants couldn't afford to pay him rent. So he said, "Let me just take equity in your company." Well, that was Google when they had 3 employees. So he stepped in something, and then he had a similar situation where he was an early investor in Dropbox and PayPal. And now the way the company works is 2 sides. We're an early stage investor in technology, so we'll write $50,000 to $100,000 checks in pre-seed and seed companies.
Okay.
And hopefully we can grow that. We have 38 unicorns in our portfolio, billion-dollar companies. And then the side of the work that I'm on is we work with companies here to help them specifically in supply chain problem solve. And we will introduce them to startups that can address the issues that they're trying to solve. So if we're in the supply chain space, which is where I'm at, and somebody's looking to figure out how to autonomously unload trailers instead of having a human do it, we will scour the globe and find the right startups for them to then go pilot with and hopefully commercialize this technology within their building.
Wow.
That's awesome. And there's such a huge need in Northwest Arkansas, and there's a ton of noise around the startup industry. What excites you about the startup and innovation industry?
Well, it's really cool for me. Again, I always tell I'm the old guy with the beard, with the gray beard with these folks, because I'm talking to 20 to 35-year-old founders, entrepreneurs that have this wonderful, amazing idea. And we talk again, everything with AI right now is crazy, but I get to hear some of these things. We were just out we do a biannual event in Silicon Valley, and we had StarCloud out there, who the CEO and founder, he just got $250 million in raise and investment, and he's putting AI data centers in space.
Wow.
That's what I'm like, wow, like who comes up with this stuff? This guy's 38 years old. I mean, they're already going to be $1 billion company in valuation.
Wow.
And he said, well, we're going to run out of room to do AI data centers on Earth. And so I'm just going to put the satellite up in space and we're going to run an AI data center out of space. I'm like, what? And I hear these types of presentations and things all the time. And there's really interesting things going on. And obviously people are like on board. They want to invest in this type of stuff because like this is we're talking on an investing podcast. Like, wouldn't you want to invest in something like that really early on?
Yes, 100%. Well, and that I mean, this isn't even on it, but that leads me to this. Like, how do you personally choose what to say yes and no to? And I feel like that's really important.
That's really, really, really hard. And that's really hard here in Northwest Arkansas right now. I think there's a lot of money of folks here in this community that want to invest in startups and technology. I think the first things that you look for in these founders are, one, are they good founders that have successful exits? So we have a few of those folks here in town that have had successful exits and have done those types of things. And then the most important thing is, what is the problem you're trying to solve? And this is where startups and founders really get lost. They build a cool widget because they can, but they're not thinking about what's the problem that they're trying to solve for. And they have to be able to go to Walmart or Tyson or JB Hunt, and Walmart, Tyson, or JB Hunt has to say, this is cool, but you're not solving a problem for me, so I'm going to pass.
Yeah.
And they have to figure that out. And a quick story I'll tell you. There was a guy at one point, if you've ever been in a Walmart warehouse or DC, and if you've been in there, they're huge. And they have these old bikes, almost like the Wizard of Oz bikes that they ride around the supervisors to get from one end to the other.
Yeah.
And this guy came to me and goes, I had this great innovation that I want to sell to a Walmart or a Target or whoever. I said, what is it? He said, it's this scooter that they get around much faster than the bike, and it's tracking them and how many steps and what are they doing and how how much of their productivity is working.
Right.
I was like, that's cool. And I started talking to Walmart and I started talking to Target and I started talking to Costco. And the reality is, it's not a need for them. Like the little bike is getting people around and it's doing the job.
Yeah.
So while the technology was cool, it's not solving a problem. And in
Right.
a world of 1,000 things to do, this was the millionth thing to do.
Yeah.
And the startup founder ended up not moving forward because he realized my technology was great,
Yeah.
but it's not solving an important need for somebody when they already have something that does the job.
That's so important. It's so important. Well, and you touched on it here and there, but like why in that story even, but like why do you think Northwest Arkansas has become such a place for the sort of thing with like startups and entrepreneurship and in general?
Well, when when you're a startup and a founder, end of the day is one or two things. You need your technology to be embedded through a commercialization rollout with a company, and or you want somebody to buy you, right? Those are the two ways that they want to do it. And so when you're here and you have Fortune 2, unfortunately, we need to get back to Fortune 1 with Walmart, and you have Tyson and JB Hunt and ArcBest and Simmons Food. Like there's really good companies here that are looking to move things forward. And so when people talk about Austin and what was going on there for all those years, there's a lot of opportunity to grow here. And then you think about the Waltons and all the money that they're pouring into the ecosystem. Everybody here now wants to do healthcare. Why? Because Alice is so passionate about healthcare. So you got all these people interested in bringing healthcare-based technology to the region because they know that there's somebody interested who also has the funds to back and support those initiatives.
Yeah.
So that you see a lot of that stuff happening here at the same time right now.
Yeah, they're almost seeing her as like an anchor point for that.
Or whether it's the outdoor recreation with Tom and Stewart and what they're doing. I mean, like everybody's trying to flood the area based on what's important and passionate. And there's a lot of money here to invest in those types of things.
There is.
Yeah, you're seeing companies from all across the country. What do you think Northwest Arkansas residents take for granted that these other companies are noticing about NWA?
I mean, right now there's so much going on here in the supply chain space, in the healthcare space, and the outdoor recreation space. I think what the Mars family has done here with home building and construction has put them on the map, right? And has done a lot of different things here. So the area is becoming very diversified. I think people are also realizing the cost of living here and to bring your startup here is much better than Silicon Valley or Austin or Nashville. Even though we're seeing pricing go way up here, it's still much below in many cases where it is in other parts of the country. So I think there's a lot of interesting, good opportunities. And you guys know there's 31 new people moving here every day. So people are seeing tons of opportunities still in this area. I think we are struggling as it's saturated. And the reality is, I think we're not even near the top yet.
Yeah. Are there any technologies or industries that you're especially bullish on over the next like 5 to 10 years?
I mean, obviously it's easy to cop out to say AI.
Right.
But that's the reality of the situation. You know, every startup I'm talking to now has changed their domain name to .ai. And I'm like, well, you're not an AI company, but everybody's got to be playing in this space. I think the way people are shopping is changing dramatically. I think the days of you going out to website, fill in the blank and buying a brand new brown Nike hat, Yankee hat, excuse me, like that's changing with LLMs, and that's changing with agents right now, and that's changing with ChatGPT and Perplexity, and it's changing fast. And you're going to be quickly at a day where your agent is going to know what you need to buy, and it's just going to show up at your door. Like, think about that for a second. You're not going to go to a website and say, I'm going to buy a pair of new tennis sneakers and shop and find your size. Like, we're going to get to a point where stuff is showing up at your doorstep because your agent is going to know what you want and it's going to know your shopping behaviors, and then there'll be a credit card saved. We're not there yet, but we're not far from those ways of thinking.
Yeah.
And that is changing the way that everybody's thinking about startup technology and what they want to bring to big companies. Because think about the big companies. They've invested billions of dollars into their website for human eyes to look at it. And the reality is now human eyes are looking at it, but also LLM and agents are now starting to shop for people. So it's happening super quick.
Yeah.
You mentioned that Walmart reached out to you on this home campus. So just shifting briefly before we get into the fire round about a little touch on commercial real estate and then being part of this Walmart campus. What was it like being part of the Walmart campus opening?
We have had, since the other location opened 8 years ago, we get approached multiple times a year about, would you like to open in Kansas City or Tulsa or Little Rock or all these places? We always look at it, and it's and it really has to be right fit, right location, right time, right population and demographic. And when Walmart came to us, it was super humbling. And I'm like, all right, well, we're 4 to 5 miles away, so we need to build something with an incremental value. Otherwise, you're cannibalizing the other location. So we had to put a lot of thought into that. But when the biggest company in the world comes to you and says, we're building this campus and we want to bring all these amenities for all these associates, and we're looking at a barbershop and we want you, like, how do you say no to that? You know, like, you really can't.
Yeah.
And we were excited. And so this was a multi-year back and forth project. I had to go to the CEO of the Gents Place and say, I want to build this speakeasy back here, which didn't exist. We had to get Walmart's permission to to think through some of these things. I mean, even when you guys walked in, that portrait of Sam Walton hanging over the fireplace, like, we had to get permission to do that. Like, we had to tell people this is what we want to do. But when they come to you and they say, we want you to be on campus, the answer is yes. Then you figure everything out from there.
Yeah. Since you started 8 months ago, is there anything you can help us dig into as far as scale, numbers, insight? Have you seen it take with this location? Like, how are things going so far?
I mean, knock on wood, I couldn't be happier. I mean, the member count is continuing to grow. The feedback has been incredible. We're starting to get people that are utilizing the business lounge, which is probably on my radar to continue to figure out how to utilize this room a little bit more often. As new businesses are opening, like, we're excited Flyway is supposed to open soon, which is going to help the post 5 o'clock traffic.
Yep.
A lot of the campus closes, 4:30, 5 o'clock, and our barbershops open till 8.
Yep.
And so when the brewery opens, people are not drinking beer most likely at 2 o'clock on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
We would expect that that's going to help the evening traffic here. So Walmart's been great. They've been a fantastic partner. When we have an issue, question, or concern, they're very fast to respond, which I wasn't sure that was going to be the case. I mean, they've been wonderful to work with. And as the campus continues to grow and fill out, there's going to be more and more people coming here.
Well, what was it like being part of this development, and any kind of numbers that you can share as far as tenant improvement that you had to do some of this yourself, and kind of rents that you're seeing that you're paying to?
Yeah, I didn't really know. I mean, I know Walmart is a landlord because they have tenants in their brick and mortar and their footprint, whether it's the Smart Styles or the taco shop or whatever. So I'm sure they're doing that. But I think this was a whole new initiative for them.
Yeah.
And we really went back and forth with them. And I think what was exciting was they know that they needed these businesses to be successful. Like, it's a bad look if 6 months in, the business saying, I can't afford to pay my rent and I'm not driving enough business, and all of a sudden there's a commercial real estate sign out front saying, hey, we need a new tenant here.
Yeah.
So they were very clear that we want to help you guys be successful, and that really made us feel good.
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't think anybody had thought about, at least on our side, I mean, we built this into the lower level footprint of a multi-level parking garage. So there were a lot of things that we didn't even think about as we were doing construction, which added some costs, about spray foam for the ceiling for sound and vibration. Like, it was a whole new initiative, and Walmart was very collaborative during the process. I mean, again, they know that these businesses have to be successful for many, many reasons. One, for the associates, they want to use them, but two, it's not a good look if you're opening 30 plus businesses on campus and half of them close because the demands for rent and cost outweigh the revenue coming in.
Yeah.
So they've been great partners.
Yeah, I think I guess we could expand more on that, how it opened your eyes to the commercial real estate development. We were actually in this private room talking about a retail development project we had going on, and you had some insight from being involved in this home campus project on some of those tenant improvements and some of the triple net structure. So how has that kind of opened your eyes to the commercial real estate and structure there?
I think when you're working with a landlord and you're working with somebody that owns the building, and in any negotiation, you need a win-win-win. Like, the landlord has to be able to make money on what they're putting out, or otherwise it makes no sense. But the business has to be able to make money and be able to afford to pay the rent. And you guys drive around town here, and with all the new commercial real estate going up, there's plenty of opportunities to, when your 5-year ends, right, your lease agreement, I can pick up and go somewhere else. Like, I have the right to do that. The landlord has the right to not want to renew with me either. So there's so much commercial real estate going here that you really want to ensure that you have a good relationship where the landlord is super happy and the tenant's super happy. And again, we've been very pleased with the way that relationship's gone here. If something is wrong, we pick up the phone and call Walmart, and within hours we get a response and help. But I think, going back to your point, which is on the financial piece, if Walmart would have come to us, or any landlord would have come and said, this is the rent and it's going to be $25,000 a month. I mean, how do you can't win that way, you know? And then you look at opening a Gents Place in some of these markets where commercial real estate rent is 3x, 2x what it is here. I mean, I know how much revenue it takes to be profitable here. And you look around and you say, like, that's really hard to do.
Yep.
Really hard to do.
100%. We're going to transition into, like, asking some investing questions, and then we got a fire round for you. Over the years, you've done a bunch of stuff. Let's say 25 years ago, starting with your, I forgot the guy's name up in New York, your financial advisor.
Joe DeMauro.
Joe DeMauro. Shout out to Joe DeMauro.
Shout out to Joe D.
But if you're taking your philosophy then from investing to now, how has it changed over that 25 years? Or has it changed? And that's okay if it hasn't.
Well, I think the importance of telling people new in your career, you need to be maxing out your 401k.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not doing that, you're silly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I understand that, well, I got to pay my bills and I got to buy a car and I got to go get new clothes for work. But the reality of the situation is there is disposable income that people are making that they're spending on $8 cups of coffee and the $20 sandwich for lunch or whatever it is. And if you're putting $100 away into your 401k or your retirement, your Roth IRA, whatever vehicle that you're trying to do at the time, you will be shocked at how much that compounds over years. And you can go pull it up in Gemini or ChatGPT, right? If I invested $1,000 at age 22 every month versus starting at 35, it's insane and it's facts. Mm-hmm. Right. And so I think that's just so important that people are paying attention to. Start thinking long-term investments as early in your career as you possibly can. And I was super proud of my son. He said to me, Dad, I want to pull money out of my savings account and I want to start investing in a Charles Schwab account. He said this at 19.
That's great.
I wasn't thinking that way at 19. And so he showed me the other day, he's like up 50%.
Yeah.
And it's, it's not tens of thousands, but and he's so proud. And he's looking at his investments and he put some money in NVIDIA and he put some money here. And I'm like, that's great. That's the mindset that you need at that age. And I don't think I was thinking that way at 20. And that probably cost me a big part of why I don't have as much money in my retirement as I'd like to have today.
Yeah. And think about the compound interest at 19 versus 29 or 39. So it's incredible. It's
but they're not seeing that, 65 is so far down the road.
Yeah.
But the reality is maybe you could retire at 55 in that example because you've been starting so much earlier.
Yes. Gaining back years.
Just final question before we get into the fire round here. What principles have mattered most in building wealth over time?
I think, again, as I talked earlier, not trying to make a buck quick. I'll probably tell you one of my 25-year-old horror stories where, you're investing in the pink sheets and you're investing in the penny stocks and you're saying, oh, this stock's cost, 87 cents, but imagine if it goes to $10. Well, it's 87 cents for a reason, right? There's a reason that it's 87 cents. And so I think you just have to be disciplined. I think that you have to understand that you're going to make mistakes, learn from those mistakes. I think not paying attention to your portfolio every day is really important because when the stock market goes down or housing prices go down and you're looking at it, it's all paper. It's not real money at the moment, right? And so you have to just be real disciplined to understand it's a long game and pay attention, diversify as much as you possibly can. Trying to get people here in this community that are so heavily invested in real estate. I got a few friends like, hey, I got 100% of my money in real estate. Mm-hmm. It's great when it's great, but hey, why don't I invest in some technology? Why not invest in some of these startups? And so, well, I'm not comfortable doing that because I don't know what I'm doing in this space. And so I'm just going to invest in what I'm comfortable in, which is good. And for most people, investing in real estate's been great, but you never know what tomorrow's going to bring. And so it's really important to be thinking about these other spots to put your money because you need to be mindful that not everything goes up all the time.
Yeah. Last 5 years have been anything but normal. And it's not very typical we were just talking in our brokerage meeting the other day about how in Oklahoma, these other markets, you'll own a home for 10 years and it'll go from 115 to 130,000 in 10 years. That's what we've seen here is crazy. People need to know that it's crazy.
Right, because I think Florida now, there's a ton of homes on the market and values are down. And so if I'm going to buy a $500,000 home and 6 months later it's worth $350,000, again, paper money, but you sure as heck aren't going to sell it at that point.
Yeah.
Right. So then so it's really important to understand what's happening. And to your guys' point, and you know it better than me, this market in real estate has been hot for a long time.
It's not going to stay hot like that
it's
forever.
Not and possible to stay this hot.
I'm seeing it kind of flatten out and sellers are going crazy. And it's no, we're trending back to normal. We have not been normal. And I'm actually kind of glad to see it going a little down. Sellers are thinking it's all the agent's faults right now. It's really just your house is priced high. And they'll go through a cycle, think it's the agent's fault. Then it'll go back then they'll finally realize, oh, it's just the market. And then they'll hire the same agent again. So we're going to get into the fire round real quick here. Biggest mistake entrepreneurs make scaling.
There's a couple ones. I think the easiest one for me to say, and I sit with founders, I just had multiple meetings here this week, is to diversify your team.
Mm-hmm.
I'll sit in a meeting and there'll be 3 engineers, nerdy, smart guys. And I'm like, what are you guys doing on marketing? And they're all looking around at each other. Or what? Do you have a fractional CFO? Like, and they're all, but they built the coolest widget of all time.
Yeah.
Or I got a sales guy that's sitting in the room and he couldn't tell you how the product's being built. He just wants to sell and push it. And so I think, I got another guy who's a buddy who says, I don't want to hire all these people, but I'm going to ask the same question in ChatGPT as if it was looking for a CFO response and a CMO response. And so make sure you diversify your thinking and the people you're surrounding yourself with. Try to have a yin for your yang and kind of have somebody that balances out where your strengths are. I've seen too many people that are just comfortable in working with their friends, and their friends have very similar skill sets, which is great, but it also is blinding you to all the other stuff that you're not paying attention to. So be diverse in the people that you're surrounding yourself with, whether it's employees, founders, fractional folks, or mentors. Get people with a different vision than you have, because otherwise you're going to miss out on a lot of things.
That's great insight.
Most underrated business skill?
1,000,000% is networking. And in this town, it's networking. And I've gotten to know you through multiple different people. Like our paths hadn't really crossed a lot, but I know through Mike Dooley and through other people. And then you start to engage. And now I'm thinking, all right, how do I connect you with others? Because again, in this town, that's super, super important. If you're not out having coffee meetings once or twice a week, or you're not having lunch meetings, or you're not connecting with new people, and you pay it forward because it's the right thing to do. I may not be able to solve your problem, but let me introduce you to other people who can help. It will come back to you in spades. Like people will come find you when they need you. In this town, if you're not networking and you're not engaging authentically,
doing the right
thing, you're totally missing out.
Amazing. Best investment you've made?
If I said marrying my wife, would that be okay?
that would be.
Well, and I think it's important because I had this vision for this business, but I also told you guys early on that I knew from my dad's past, like not to leave my day job. And so when Emily and I got married, I said, hey, I'm going to continue to work in plug and play and do these things. And I need you to step away from your nursing job and run this business. And we wouldn't be successful at the Gents Place without her doing it. So I think, again, investing in relationships, this was the most important one that has led to the success at the Gents Place by far.
I 100% agree. Biggest business partner.
Yeah. Okay. If you were starting over today, no network, no platform, no existing business, what would you focus on first?
Starting today with no network, oh God. I had a buddy that just moved here, a New Yorker, with the stereotypical New Yorker with the accent, like just super fast, super hard charging, high pace. And I've had to give him counsel, hey, like dial it back a bit. and he's great. He's fantastic. And he's building his network. He's going out to 1,000,000 cups and he's going out. And so if you have no network, this is a really easy town to go out and build that. And I think, again, that's the first place you should start. And then the business results and relationships will come with it. So he's 3 months in and I just met with him the other day. And he's now found his people and he's now found his purpose. But it was a lot of hard work to start to figure out where he fits in coming from New York to here.
Yeah. Love it. Is there anything that you would like to plug here at the end of the podcast? Anything fun, exciting on your mind? Or?
Yeah, I think we talked a little bit about community. Part of what we do here at the barbershop, we realized that we can give back. And a lot of our members are well off or well to do and have money to donate, but just don't know what to do with it. And so the Gents Place is very focused internally on veterans. And so we do like a big, in September, October, we do a big Operation Gentleman, it's called. Okay. We're having guys come in and donate suits like you're wearing right now, lightly used. And we send that off to Fort Hood for veterans that are coming out and looking for jobs. So we're really focused on veterans. Yeah. And then my wife and I decided about 5 years ago to start our own 501c3. It's called Gents Giving. We do a charity event in November, either the Thursday before or Thursday after Veterans Day. This year it's November 12th after Veterans Day. And we'll put about 150 people in a room drinking high-end allocated bourbon, so almost like a Thanksgiving type setting, with steak and shrimp dinner. And we'll donate $100,000 net proceeds, $50,000 to a veterans charity, a different one each year, and $50,000 to pancreatic cancer. Wow! And so tickets are going to go on sale soon. It's a wonderful event. And we really want people to continue to support the types of stuff like that we're doing here in the community.
How can people buy those tickets?
It's gentsgivingnwa.com, I think, or find Gents Giving on Instagram.
Yep.
We haven't even started yet with ticket sales, and we have multiple tables already pre-booked. Like that's how the demand for this thing has gone in the last few years.
Josh, loved having you on the podcast. You're great. You have your own podcast as well. You spoke well, and we're really thankful to have you on.
Yeah, thank you for having me.